Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to another video. Well, let's check it out. Let's see what I got for you right now. If you like those type of cards that have a little bit of here, a little bit of there, part of it from one country, part of it has their own touch. Well, these are the type of videos that you like to watch because this card represents two brands into one brand, and they give their own little flavor from their homeland. But let's give it a proper presentation so I don't confuse you even more because I sound like I'm confusing a bit too much. This is a 143 scale Vauxhall Cavalier MK2. And this SRI model. Now, if you're familiar with the Cavalier, Vauxhall Cavalier, it's literally an Opel. Is it a the Ascona? Yep, the Opel Ascona is basically the British edition of the Opel Ascona. So that's what I meant has a little bit of here and a little bit of there. It's a model really that started in Germany, but it has the British flavor in it. Obviously, by being Vauxhall, they changed a few little things, not much. Basically more like the grill, the rear end, a little bit of tail lights, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit extended or more molding, but nothing major, nothing major, but still got their own little representation. And I like that. And I like this hatchback edition. Believe it or not, I've seen the Opel Ascona. As you might know, also the Opel Ascona came into South America as the Chevrolet Monza. So I tell you, Opel Ascona, Opel is a brand by being part of GM. You know, GM usually likes to share their models throughout, depending on the country they sell, with the brand that does best in the country that they're selling. And in South America, example, Chevrolet is pretty important, pretty popular. Opel, they were back in the 70s and early 80s, but then Opel, obviously, by being part of GM, they GM worry more about let's make it more a Chevrolet because it will stand out in other parts of South America that Opel was not really a standout. The same thing with Vauxhall. Vauxhall is a big brand. Well, it used to be I'm not sure if it used to or it still is a big, very important brand for the UK, much more than Opel. So that's how they brought it up to their. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong. I might be talking a bunch of nonsense, but that's from my understanding. From what I see in the British market, I saw a lot of Vauxhalls, not many Opels. If I don't remember much of any, but yeah, so basically that's how they run. So Vauxhall Cavalier, this is the second facelift that they received. But before I get to the facelift, I haven't gave it a proper years. These models were sold between 1981 till 1988. This model was built at least, yeah, it was actually built as a two-door convertible, which I'd never seen in my life, a two-door saloon, a four-door saloon, a five-door estate, which is a wagon, and a five-door hatchback, which is the one that we're looking at right now. The five-door hatchback. I love the two-tone color combination. Great choice. Engine-wise, they had a 1.3, a 1.6, a 1.8, and a 2.0. All of these were four-cylinder engines. You know, as I'm reading, it also has other related models. It has a Chevrolet Cavalier, which was not called Cavalier. Was it called Cavalier? I thought it was called Monza, but I may be wrong. It was Chevrolet Cavalier, Holden Camira, which I guess that's for the Australian market, and Isuzu Aska. I'm guessing the Isuzu must be for the Japanese market. As you know, I'm kind of seeing where, depending on the brand, where is it going to. I'm doing my little own homework in my head as I'm speaking to you guys. All right. This is actually, like I was saying, the second facelift of the Mark II edition. They came out in 1987. Okay, 1987 to 1988. All right, everyone. Let me let this beautiful car go around a few times, and I'll be right before I leave. I don't know if I said it. You probably noticed already. There's a diecast model, and it's made by Vanguards. Now that I said that and I got it off my chest before I forget, I'm gonna let this nice looking hatchback go around a few times, and I'll be right. All right, everyone. I was actually thinking when I mentioned Chevrolet Cavalier, my head, I totally blanked out for a moment. The Chevrolet Cavalier was a car sold in North America. And I guess his relation is because they're part of GM. They don't really look like this model. From what I remember, they were a little different in looks. Now, the one that I mentioned before was the South American model, the Chevrolet Monza, which was literally an Opel Ascona for the Latin American market. So I wanted to clarify that because I kind of left the blank and I fully didn't realize. And now as it's going around, I said, hold on, Chevrolet Cavalier, it's not this exact model. Well, it's part of GM, but I guess they meant their relation by being a GM model and around the same size, more or less. All right, everyone. Please let me know in the comments below. Do you remember seeing this model as a hatchback or as a sedan, a wagon, or a convertible? Now, how was it sold in your country? As a Vauxhall, as an Opel, as a Chevrolet, and as a Holden? Or you let me know. You fill up the blank. And I would like to know, were they reliable? Did you like them? Do you still see them around? Were they popular back then? All right, everyone. Don't forget to give me that beautiful thumbs up. Thank you so much. I always truly appreciate your support and your comments because it gives me the push to continue. I enjoy reading people's comments. I enjoy that people are showing interest, and thank you for those big thumbs up. That shows me that you liking what you're seeing, and I appreciate that. All right, don't forget to click and subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. Take care, more than ever, as I always say, and goodbye.